Well, Coach, welcome to week number 9. Last week, the Salinas Cowboys made their second trip to the garlic capital of the world, Gilroy, to play the Mustangs at Gilroy. Had a good night. 49-zip was the final score, and kind of a two-part game as you guys went up 35-0 at half. Talk about that.
Yeah, we kind of came out of the gates pretty hot, and they're kind of having a down year, which is never fun, but came out really well and played hard and got 35 points really in about 12 minutes, and then started to feather some guys in on both sides of the ball. Just try to get some guys some experience with the one group that maybe aren't ones and get them a little look so we can really evaluate them further at the end of the year, especially as we start looking towards the second season after the next 2 weeks when we start thinking about longevity of kids. So kind of fun to do that, and it was fun to get our seconds in and score twice with the 2 offense, which we haven't done all year, and keeping the shutout with the 2 and 3 defense was outstanding. They're just really doing a great job tackling and doing the things that we coach them to do.
Well, and it also seemed like, I know we commented on it during the broadcast, it seemed like your sideline stayed engaged. When the ones came out, they were supporting the same way that the 2s support the ones, and that had to feel good.
Yeah, it's always nice when you're 58 strong no matter who's in. We always talk about like X person at right guard can get beat, but not 58 guys at right guard, and really try to preach that as much as we can, that it's always 58 Cowboys on the field regardless of how many are playing.
We'll talk about practice this week. 58 Cowboys out here. You get into game number 9, and it's hard to stay on point. What are you focusing on as a team this week?
Just keeping that effort every day and working on getting better every day. And it's hard. We always talk about as coaches, and I talk to the kids because we're pretty open with them about everything, that it's hard to match the same intensity for an entire season. And some of that I think has to fall on me, and I need to do a better job, I think, being positive and motivating and not falling in a hole just because I think the energy's down. And we talked about that about halfway through practice, that, I'm human, I make mistakes too, and we need to pick up the tempo and be positive with each other.
We'll talk about Friday's matchup. The Hay Balers of Hollister, an interesting team and always a competitive team. 5-3 this year, 4-1 in league play. If you want to win a league title, you're going to have to beat the Hay Balers every year. To talk about them, I know they've had an interesting season. Their home field under construction, and they've been playing their home games at Rabobank Stadium here in Salinas. So it's a vagabond team, but it's a team that's always going to play you tough.
Yeah, Hollister is always that team that's going to play really hard and physical. They're going to hit the crap out of you every chance they get, and just going to play with great effort. And I did coach over there a few years, and a lot of their coaches coached with me, or I coached with them, and just a really hard-working staff that really puts their kids in the best position possible. And their head coach, Brian, and I played against each other back in high school when he was a quarterback at Hollister. So always fun to see guys that you grew up with and played against. When you see them coaching, it's always a great time.
Well, Coach, talk about the next 2 weeks. 2 home games here at the Pit to finish up league, and not the football component because nobody's looking ahead. I know that's not how you guys coach. Talk about the involvement from the student body here at Salinas High School, the band, the smoke, everybody showing up to support the Cowboys, all the parents. Talk about how important that is. I know we talked about it a few weeks ago, but always good to kind of throw a shout where applicable.
I still have never seen a crowd like we have here. I thought last year's crowds was the best I'd ever seen in high school, including when I was, back in the way back when days when, it was a little different for a high school crowd. We're getting better crowds than we had then, and I think this year it's better than it was last year. Kids come, they wear purple, they're loud. My understanding is they're going to wear gold this week because that's the kind of the theme with the kids, and I just think it's outstanding that the kids really get into coming out and supporting each other. We had Special Olympics had their soccer game today with the 4 high schools in the area, and you see 60 football players in the crowd cheering them on, and I think that's just kind of the culture of being a Cowboy, as we cheer each other on and we root for each other.
Well, Coach, thanks for your time. Good luck this week, and we'll catch up with you next week.
Thank you.